It's Weekend Update with Colin Jost and Michael Che.
Thank you. Good evening. Thank you. Oh, God, Jesus. Good evening, everyone.
Welcome to Weekend Update. I'm Michael Che.
I'm Colin Jost. This week, President Trump traveled 14,000 miles round trip to China for a 48-hour summit, which historians are already calling could have been an email. President Trump arrived in China, but instead of Xi Jinping, he was greeted by the country's vice president, Han Zhang, or as Trump called him, Xi Jinping.
President Trump was greeted at the Great Hall of the People by school children jumping up and down in excitement, shouting, "It's the man from the hats we make." President Trump brought his son Eric to China as a gift.
This week, CIA Director John Ratcliffe traveled to Cuba, which has run out of oil and is experiencing massive blackouts. We sent the CIA director because the FBI guy is also experiencing massive blackouts.
U.S. and Chinese authorities conducted a joint operation to arrest members of a drug smuggling ring. So great work, Agents Carter and Lee. Cole Thomas Allen has pleaded not guilty to attempting to assassinate the president, a crime which carries a maximum penalty of life in prison. He could also be charged with trying to kill the vice president, which carries a maximum penalty of a full pardon.
Is that too real? Too real. Health Secretary RFK Jr., seen here showing how vaccines turn you gay, said that during an Oval Office event that in 1970, men had twice the sperm count as our teenagers do today. The teenage sperm counts were measured at the You Sure This Is Legal Institute.
President Trump said in an interview that he is now referring to Democrats as Democrats because they're dumb. Clever. He's also referring to himself as the greatest president of all time.
According to a senior official, President Trump keeps a letter in the Resolute desk addressed to Vice President J.D. Vance in the event he dies or is assassinated. The letter reads simply, "I wish it had been you."
President Trump has rejected Iran's latest demands to end the war, including recognition of Iranian sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz and U.S. war reparations. You want reparations from America? Get in line, honey.
Yeah. Texas Senator John Cornyn has introduced legislation to rename a state highway Trump Interstate because for some reason people associate Trump with traffic across state lines.
Conservative political figure Carrie Lake has been appointed by President Trump to be the next ambassador to Jamaica. Lake says her top priority will be to convert reggae to reg straight. FIFA announced that this year's World Cup final will have a halftime show featuring Madonna, Shakira, and BTS, which is being described as something for everyone to dislike.
Well, a recent poll found that 3/4 of Americans believe the right to free speech is heading in the wrong direction. Here to cut through the noise and speak his mind is Mr. On Blast.
Hello, Colleen. That's right. I'm Mr. On Blast. And unlike other fools, I ain't afraid to speak truth to power. So get ready, because no one is safe from being put on blast.
Okay. All right, well, go ahead, lay it on us.
All right, first up, AI. What are we doing? Prompts this, Prompts that. AI, more like PU. On blast!
All right, okay. Kind of starting at a C minus, but sure. Okay.
Y'all want to talk about the metaverse? Psh, why don't you go read a Bible verse?
Wait, so you're Christian?
Devout. And to all those AI companies in Silicon Valley, Gemini, Claude, ChatGPT, more like ChatGPU. On blast!
Where did the cake come from?
Oh, you're not ready for that conversation, sweet cheeks.
Just don't touch my Don't call me sweet cheeks or touch my hands.
Right. Okay, next up, stock market. Always going up, always going down. Here's an idea. Stay still. On blast!
Okay. No! Stop it. No! You want the stock market to stay still.
Yeah, I'm ruthless. Because blasting is my mitzvah. L'chaim!
Wait, so you're Jewish too?
Devout. Now blasting on towards CEOs, or should I say CE-nos? Hey,
No.
CEOs, I hear you make a lot of money. Too bad you can't buy yourself a moral compass. On blast!
Hi, I'm Mr. On Blast, and I'm in the place where they put the pictures.
What the hell? How did you do that?
My grandson works on the show.
You have a grandson?
Devout. Now give me and my family a break, Colleen. It's hard up here.
Yeah, you know what? I bet it is hard. Especially when you out here looking like a lesbian Bruno Mars. On blast! Why did mine sound like that?
Looks like you just got put on blast. Blast boys, get out here.
Yeah, I know what's gonna happen. Okay. Mr. On Blast, everyone.
Devout. Devout.
Straight up blasted. Straight up blasted.
A contestant on The Price is Right recently won the largest single episode prize in the show's history. One Night with Drew Carey.
Researchers studying the 59,000-year-old teeth of a Neanderthal believe they found the first evidence of an attempt to fill a cavity. The evidence was this stone tablet denying coverage.
Happy birthday to music legend Stevie Wonder, who this week turns... That's right. Stevie Wonder, who this week turned 76 and received his favorite birthday gift, another handful of diamonds.
A scientist has discovered a new species of flower that only exists in New Jersey, where it is bullied constantly for looking like a pussy.
This week marks the 40th anniversary of the modern NBC Peacock logo, which debuted in 1986. And if that peacock could talk, I bet it'd say, "Bill Cosby raped me." Wow.
You can't believe it hasn't already started, but tonight we have a tradition where Shay and I give each other jokes to read.
So yeah, we're making each other read jokes live on there that the other person's never seen before. You nervous?
Just getting ready.
No, it's.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. We're gonna be fun to each other and to our families, and it's out of love.
Yes, why don't you go first, Colin?
Sure. Mattel has introduced a new Barbie that has autism. Ugh, now it's gonna feel wrong when I have sex with it.
Feel wrong. A new study finds that the average length of an erect penis in the country is 6.34 inches. Oh boy, that means I'm only 6 inches below average. Now I just have to figure out how to get erect.
I like that as a challenge for you. Michael B. Jordan won Best Actor for his role in the vampire movie Sinners. A black vampire is just like a white vampire, except the only thing it sucks dry is the welfare state.
Colin!
Now that was just a joke. I'm not a racist, and to prove it, I, Colin Jost, hereby pledge this season's salary to Dr. Umar School for Black Boys. Now, y'all might not know who that is, but the brothers at home is nodding their heads. No one in our white audience understands. And if that's not enough, I have a beautiful new ferry ready to give any black person a free one-way trip back to the motherland.
I would have ended it at the Dr. Umar thing. A new study suggests that men are less likely to suffer from erectile dysfunction if they drink grape juice, which explains why my boyfriend is always rock hard. Speaking of giving little boys juice, you're a terrible person. The movie Michael won the box office again this weekend, and since a few members of the Jackson family are actually in the audience tonight, I wanted to take a moment to tell everybody what I really think. Michael Jackson did nothing wrong. He was right to molest all those kids. And they were lucky. I would have paid him to do it. And I did. That's right. When I was 10 years old, Michael Jackson molested me. And the only thing it gave me was a fetish for middle-aged white women. That is not why I have that.
Wow, we just learned a lot about you. Ye! Ye has released a new album called Bully. So please try to separate the art from the artist. And remember that Ye can make awful music and still be right about Hitler. Now that joke is offensive to everybody, and to apologize, I'd like to sacrifice the most important thing in my life, my beautiful, award-winning, world-famous hair. That's right. I'm shaving it off. Send in the barber. Jerome, make me unpretty.
No. You was really gonna do it? Man,
You are the greatest comedian of all time. No, don't
God
do it.
damn it.
For the Weekend Update, I'm Michael Che.
I was
You
so
really
scared.
do it?
I was so scared.
We could have got
God,
it. Do it.
I'm about to get knocked up tonight. Oh my God.